What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I know it's blood on the streets for today. We're going to cover everything that's going on. Don't worry, guys. We should be good. But let's get right into this, guys. Jay, what's going on? Jay's in the house. He said, made some money off these shorts. Nice. I'm glad you made some money, bro. Flip, what's going on, brother? Pink, haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Gina, Jasmy, what is going on? Like I said, I hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you guys are surviving out there. I know we've seen some big movement for today. Let's just get right into it, guys. So what is going on with the markets today? Well, we can obviously see that Bitcoin right now is down. We're at around 61,170. We kind of been fluctuating around, but obviously the main move has really been towards the downside. We did come down and tap this spot that we've had some support, somewhere around this 60,180 area. You can see pretty much smacked it clean off this bounce. And this line's been here for a while. This is a line that I basically pulled up as far as some support. We have bounced off of this area multiple times. It has been resistance a few times as well as we broke below it. So big spot for some support. We obviously came down, touched it, and we are seeing somewhat of a small retracement as of now. But is the pain over with, guys? Is it over with? And just zooming in, you guys can see this bounce. I mean, it was literally so clean. You can't even make this up. This clean ass bounce off of here at around the 60,150 area. And you can see we are starting to try to move towards the upside. Now, we've had these moves today where we bounce and it looks like we're starting to rebound. We bounce, starts to look like we're rebounding. We bounce or we drop, looks like we're starting to rebound, and then we continue to keep moving towards the downside. So like I said, I mean, if you look at the narrative today, we obviously are on the way towards the downside. Have we seen the bottom yet? Possibly, right? And we're going to cover this on why I think we might have most likely seen the bottom of this for right now. So let's just get right into it, guys. So obviously, if you guys have been following the news today, there's been a lot of things going on, right? We had the strike across the ports in the eastern side of the states that's going on right now. Really, that I was initially thinking that was the big reason, and I think that was the startup of us moving down. Basically, if you're not familiar, the ports right now, they're a big union, and a lot of them have basically stopped working because they're demanding higher pay. And I think they were in the mix of swapping out a lot of these people for machines, basically, to do the same job. So you have, the unions are strong, right? Ports are very important, obviously, for products and for us to do shipping and receiving and stuff like that. So something like that could easily derail the economy. The economy starts to move towards the downside again. You're going to see the market start bleeding off like we've seen today. So that's one of the things. The other thing that we did see today is that there's a flare-up in the Middle East. Obviously, we're not going to get too much into this stuff because this has nothing to do with us, but it does affect crypto and the markets. And we did see a little bit of a flare-up today in regards to Israel and Iran, right? We saw back and forth. I guess Iran sent some missiles to retaliate, and the reason why when this happens you see the markets start to bleed off is because Israel is a big ally of the states, right? So what they're thinking, a lot of big investors are like, holy crap, if it's a big enough response or a big enough attack, it's going to force America to get more involved than we already are. Right now, we just basically support through financial means. They're talking about, if something gets too big, you could see possible boots on the ground or us sending, just more military means over to the area over there, which any kind of war, military, anything that has to do with any of that stuff, the markets will always do bad on any of that news. So with that being said, whenever you hear about that stuff or some stuff like that looming, that right there can cause some instability in the market. So you give those two big macro issues that are going on across the states, the United States and the world, and you see what we see for today as far as the market obviously coming down. Now, real quick, this isn't just a crypto thing, right? You see our watch list, everything's in the red, and we're going to cover these projects, but you can see the S&P is down about 1%, the NASDAQ about 1.5%, and the Dow Jones is down about 0.5%. The VIX is up, obviously, because of the volatility, and the dollar, the DXY dollar strength is up about 0.5% right now, which we were, as of up until today, the dollar has been losing strength day by day, right? Yesterday we were down to like about $100. I mean, obviously a little over like $100 and some change, but you can see as of today it has moved up a little smidget off of basically people moving their risk assets and putting it back into the dollar, given that they're thinking that something big could be sparking over in the Middle East and obviously with the ports. So, you know, it is what it is, guys. Stuff like this is out of our control, right? Stuff like this is out of our control. It kind of stinks because we had I'm not going to say fantastic, but we had a great September, right? Usually Septembers are in the red. We did close September into the green, only to start literally today's October the 1st, October, for us to see a big sell-off. And it wasn't even a massive sell-off, but, you know, a decent sell-off, you know, kind of taking some of the gains that we've seen in the previous week or two in the market. So it is what it is. Like I said, I don't think that we have anything too much to worry about other than possibly a little bit more movement towards the downside. So what are we expecting for right now? Well, you know, we're going to have to keep an eye out on the news. Obviously, it stinks, but we're going to have to watch this regional thing that's going on in the Middle East. I think that's going to be more of a local, not a local, but a short-term kind of a, you know, something if it gets any more escalated, you could see a little bit more movement towards the downside. I think the port thing is going to be a little bit more of a drawn out kind of situation that I think we saw the initial sell-off because of the ports closing down, but I think if, you know, they can kind of come to some kind of an agreement, that'll be, you know, chopped up and you know, forgotten in the next week or two, hopefully, right? So really keep an eye out on what's going on with Israel and Iran. That's going to be the big focus for right now. Now, don't forget, we do have on Friday the job reports. That is going to be another thing that we're keeping an eye out on, right? Because we obviously, that before all this stuff was going on, that was going to be the main thing that we had for this week. Obviously, we're forecast to see the non-farm payrolls somewhere around 140,000 jobs created for last month. Previous was 142. So like I said, we hit that 140 or above, going to be good for the markets. Anything below like around 135, 130 or below, not going to be good for the markets. And you're going to see somewhat of some volatility coming out of those numbers. And same thing with unemployment. Unemployment, obviously 4.2 to be forecast, pretty much calling for a flat line for unemployment. So we'll have to see how that comes. If unemployment comes anything higher than 4.2, we're going to see more sell-offs happening. So it's a bumpy week, guys. It is a bumpy week. Like I said yesterday, you know, before even kind of seeing what all this was going on, I just kind of could call it and see it in the charts. It is going to be a little bit of a bumpy week. So hope you guys are surviving. Let's see here. Ricky said, I'm driving around with my tank looking for a deal. Amar said, like the title says, I don't know what the F is going on, but I saved my last big bag of funds for the last massive red candle falling to the earth. I hear you, bro. And that's why, like, days like today, you know, like I said, you know, it's I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, I obviously want to see the markets just start ripping, but at the same time, you know, I'm not upset that I can continue to accumulate more, you know, of whatever I want to buy in, right? So, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt. You know, this is stuff that we cannot control whatsoever. The only thing that you can control is if we see these big dips, if you can, you know, if you're able to obviously bring in your average down or just accumulating more of whatever projects that you're bullish on, right? Because that's ultimately the only thing that we can actually control. Looking at the alts for today, shocker, right? We're seeing nothing but red across the board. You guys can see pretty much everything across the board other than maybe Hex up about 2%. PopCat up 2%, WorldCoin up 3%. Majority of the market is in the red. Big movers towards the downside, I would say anything that's popping up. We have Ordinals down 11%, JASMY down almost 12%. WorldCoin, what is this? Oh, I said WorldCoin. This is Wormhole that's up 3%. WorldCoin is actually down 12.8%. But you can see across the board, kind of around the same, anywhere from about 8 to 10 to 12%. On the downside. Obviously, alts are going to react a little bit more dramatically given that they're a little bit more riskier assets with smaller market caps. So you're going to see a little bit more of some movement, whether it's towards the down or towards the upside. But a little bit of hopium. You pull up that monthly still, and a lot of these projects are still in the green massively, right? And this just shows you guys what we've seen in the last month as far as alts. They have absolutely, most of them have, or not, maybe majority of them have absolutely ripped. A lot of them still holding massive gains even after a day like today. Really, we've been coming down for the last 2 days, and you can see some of these projects are still up 100, 200%, 80, 55%. Absolutely looking fantastic. So, things are still great. We still haven't lost all the gains that we've kind of rebounded from in the last few weeks. So we're still good. Hopefully we can hold that level, like I said, that we bounced off of for Bitcoin, somewhere around this 60,150 area. For right now, that is going to be probably the biggest spot that we need to hold right now. If we do break that next spot that we have as some support, is going to be somewhere around this 59.4 area. This 59.4 area was a big spot before that we bounced off of, right? We bounced off of multiple times, or we've hit our head on this area, having it as some resistance while we were below the area. So 59.4 is going to be the next spot, somewhere around 59.4, 59.5 actually to be exact. Somewhere around that area is going to be probably the next big area that we definitely want to hold if we do break this 60,150 area. So we'll see how that plays out, guys. Troy, don't jinx us. He said NFK's holding up good right now. Don't jinx us, bro. Mario said Dog Elon Mars is coming out with Rufus, our own blockchain with an AI metaverse game built on it. Uses Dogelon Mars as gas fees and burns Dogelon Mars with every transaction. Hey, Mario, that's good to hear, bro. What I've been saying is that, like, they need to do something, right, to stay relevant. They really need to do something, because I feel like they've kind of, fell into the back end of just like the whole meme coin space, and not too many people are stumbling across Dog Elon anymore, because it's just like it hasn't really done much in the last year, 2 years, right? So they definitely need to attract new investors. They need to, encourage their existing investors that everything's going to be good, and maybe continue to have, just excitement around the project so people feel good when they're making their investments. I know anybody that's holding on to that project right now is holding for dear life. They've been holding for the last few years, waiting for something to freaking happen with that project. So I'm glad to hear that they're even doing anything, right? Because you're the first person that's brought up that project in the chat probably in the last few months. Let's see here. Jay asks, anyone know anything about crypto named Compound? I came across it on Robinhood. Compound's pretty good. They're I believe they're real big in DeFi, bro. Compound is not a bad project. Let me pull it up. I was actually trading Compound last year or 2 years ago during the bear market. What they're at, $43. You can see the market cap, not too big, 376 million. I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember what Compound is. Isn't it really big on DeFi, if I'm not mistaken? I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. This is like an OG project, but the point of the story is they're not doing terrible as far as the market cap being very low, and volume being at around $30 million. That's damn near almost 10% of what the market cap is. So not too bad. And I mean, they're trading on Binance, Robinhood, like you said, Coinbase. Pretty much every exchange holds on to Compound. So definitely not bad. I will say Compound, speaking of Dog Elon, and then you bring up Compound. Compound's one of those projects where you really don't hear people talking about this project much, right? I mean, back in 2021, this project absolutely ripped, right? You can see 2021, this project got up to almost $900, bro. And it's at $43 right now. So definitely some potential there. Will it do that again? I don't know, bro. I don't know. But it definitely will move up as the market moves up. So maybe not a bad little spot to grab a quick 2 or 3x on that project. So speaking of coin market cap, guys, looking at the fear and greed index, look at that. We were so close to getting into greed, and now we are starting to trickle back down into the lower neutral at around 48 for now, right? So kind of explains what the market is right now. The confidence that we were finally building up in the last week or two has kind of dwindled back down for right now. But Someone mentioned this in the chat on the Discord and was saying, isn't it crazy how within a few days the markets can go from being bullish to bearish, right? And that's exactly, what we can see on vice versa, right? You can easily see the markets, in a week or two, this Israel stuff, the ports, all this stuff can clear up, and you can easily see everything just move right back into being bullish and us going right back to where we were at like nothing even happened, right? So it's just part of the territory with trading, and especially the times that we're in right now, with everything that's going on across the world. So Jay said more downside after market hours. Honestly, it looks like, since the market closed, we did see a little bit more of a downward move, but it looks like we're actually starting to try to rebound for now until the market opens up tomorrow. But yeah, so like I said, guys, we definitely need this 60,150 area to hold. Hopefully, we don't come back. We don't want to keep coming back and retesting that area. If we keep coming back and retesting this area, it's going to drop. Now, I will tell you, the Asian market, our friends over across the pond, right? They've been sleeping. They're waking up here soon. Let's hope they eat the dip, right? So, everybody in China's got their pockets full. They just got that stimulus. So hopefully they're going to be coming in and they're like, hell yeah, they're going to start buying that dip. We'll see how it plays out. But let's just jump into some articles. So Bitcoin, crypto down 4% as Israel-Iran conflict escalates. So crypto markets slumped on October the 1st amid geopolitical conflict between Israel and Iran in the Middle East. The top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap, including Bitcoin, fell as Iran launched hundreds of missiles towards Israel, shaking the already fragile market confidence. The attack prompted a sell-off in the crypto market cap by over 4%. Bitcoin dropped 3.9%, slipping below 61,200 after climbing to 65K this week. Ethereum, Solana were down between 6 and 7%. Stablecoins like Tether and Circle USD coin slightly depegged, but maintained the 99-cent level. Damn, I didn't even realize that. Isn't that crazy? So Circle, they said stablecoins Tether and USDC slightly depegged. Obviously, what that means is they're pegged to the dollar, right? So sometimes you'll see USDC or Tether, when things get really volatile, you'll see them sometimes break from that dollar, right? And we saw this briefly during some of the craziness we saw like a year ago, where I think it was like USDC actually dropped down to like, I don't remember what it was, but even if USDC drops down just like 5 cents, it scares the living shit out of people, and rightly so, because they're supposed to be pegged to the dollar. What happens with that is that you have so many people at once, so much money flowing from stablecoins out, right? Flowing out of the stablecoins. That basically what it does is it starts to depeg from that dollar, because the outflow is just becoming so massive, right? It needs to be at a equilibrium as far as inflows to outflows for the most part, for it to stay at that pegged dollar or around the dollar area. So they're saying nothing to be too worried, but you could see that there was just massive, a lot of money shifting around, given that even Tether and USDC moved just from $1 down to 99 cents briefly. Some people actually trade off of this, believe it or not. If like USDC drops down like a few cents, people will buy a bunch of USDC because they know 99% of the time it's going to come right back up to $1. So that could be a 2, 3, maybe even sometimes a 5% gain off of just buying that USDC and then selling it right when it gets back up to $1. So news of ballistic missiles attack during the ongoing Middle East unrest also rattled the crypto mining sector. At one point, shares of Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital dropped by approximately 9%, and fellow Bitcoin mining firm CleanSpark also saw a 6% decrease in stock prices. So let's see here. So this is Tyre Capital says Bitcoin's the best bet amid Middle East conflict. So as the turmoil threatened global economies and liquidity fled markets, Tire Capital, Ed Hindi, upend that Bitcoin was the best bet for investors looking for a safeguard wealth, which I'm here to disagree for right now, because anybody that maybe if you bought in at the very bottom of Bitcoin right now, it was maybe a decent move. But as much as I am pro crypto and pro Bitcoin, I will say that today, you know what I noticed? You know what, the one thing that did really not terrible, but stayed pretty flatline, was actually up while the markets were crashing, was gold. Believe it or not, gold actually ended the day at around, it's down right now 0.02%. At a time today, it was up like 1% while everything else was crashing, right? And it keeps making new all-time highs. That right there is telling you that people are a little still on the nervous side in regards to the macro, the world stage, as far as war, economies and stuff like that. And they're basically staying into gold, or you're seeing a lot more new money going into gold, possibly leaving some of these riskier assets. So I would maybe disagree short term that moving today, if you were one of those people that were scared moving out of like maybe the S&P and stuff like that, gold probably was your safest bet today, just because it didn't move absolutely nothing. It pretty much stayed where it's at its highs, as of today. So let's see here. Bitcoin is often regarded as an inflation hedge or digital gold. And according to MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor, it has outperformed the S&P in recent years. I agree with that. In Hindi's words, Bitcoin is one of the top assets to consider in an event of broadening crisis within the Middle East and Europe. So like I said, guys, there's really nothing much to... it's like beating a dead horse. We already know what's going on over there. Hopefully this conflict, kind of de-escalates. We want world peace, right? Not just because we want the markets to go up. We just want world peace, right? I feel terrible for anybody that's affected in those areas. I really do. It almost, you gotta appreciate if you're living in a safe community, a safe country and stuff like that, that you don't have to deal with that stuff. So hopefully everything, solves itself and they can get past everything and everybody can live amongst each other, right? A little cringe, right? But realistically, you don't want to see any of these. You see these pictures of like all this stuff and you're like, oh man, it's just terrible. 2024 and we're still at war with each other, right? So Bitcoin crumbles to 60K, giving up most post-Fed rate gains. So the S&P 500 and NASDAQ also fell on a report that Iran was preparing on an imminent missile attack on Israel. We're not going to read through the same stuff if this is what it's given us, and it looks like it is, because we already pretty much know what's going on. So, right here, I want to read this here. So, key U.S. stock indexes open the day lower, with S&P and the tech-heavy NASDAQ trading 1% and 1.7% lower, respectively. In the later hours of the session, gold jumped 1%. Like I told you guys, there was a time where gold was actually up 1%, and and for gold to jump up 1%, you're talking about a 10 plus $10+ trillion asset. So for it to move up 1%, that's a lot of billions of dollars that are coming in at any given time. So the fact that gold actually jumped up 1% during today's trading hour while everything was dropping pretty much gives you a big indication of what people are kind of doing right now. They're moving a lot of their assets, or they're trying to find safe assets to put their money in right now. And, while things are kind of a little murky as far as what's going on. And what's crazy is the dollar moved up about 0.5%, and then you have gold jumping up 1%. So you saw a lot of money moving back into the DXY, and then you see a lot of people jumping into gold for whatever reason. But I know most of us that are in crypto, I don't have anything against gold. I just, I don't really trade. I've never actually traded or anything like had anything to do with gold other than actually buying physical gold, right? So that's where I stand with that. Another thing too that I didn't mention that they're mentioning on here is that crude oil surged 3% over $70 a barrel. That's another thing. And the reason why oil spiked up today wasn't that people were just moving all their money over to oil, like trying to look for some liquid gold. No, they moved it over because Iran and the Middle East are big oil suppliers, right? So whenever you're seeing something like instability going on over there, that usually tends to bring in not restrictions, but it usually will slow down the production of oil, which will drive the price up, because obviously the demand is still going to be there every day for oil, right? But if there's any interruptions or any kind of delays in the distribution, or the as far as with oil, you're going to see prices start to move up, and sometimes it can move up fast, right? So oil was another thing that moved up to 3% to about $70 a barrel. Gold, oil has come down a considerable amount, but it is starting to look like it wants to start moving up a little bit. So even before today. So the divergent price action of gold and Bitcoin highlighted the leading digital assets' high correlation with risk-on assets like stocks, not to mention gold, fulfilling its traditional role as a safe haven asset, like I was just saying. The 30-day rolling correction between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 is now approaching nearly highs as as highs at the 0.62 K33 research noted in today's report. And you guys can see this chart right here basically indicating what is blue is Bitcoin and purple is gold. And you guys can see, you kind of can see they kind of run not together, but similar, right? But you can see Bitcoin for the most part, right, is usually above gold. It's like it outperforms gold, right? Well, as of late, you go back over into I believe, what is this, September? Go into September, and gold eventually started to break above, and you can see gold is pointing to the sky, while Bitcoin obviously is coming towards the downside for right now, short term. So what does that mean? Like we've already said, you have people just kind of jumping out of a riskier assets like Bitcoin and even the S&P, and they're moving into safer bets, with what they consider safer bets, as in gold. So Manny, what's going on, brother? Art, what's going on, bro? What is going on, guys? So that's pretty much all we're going to cover with what's going on with the world stage. Like I keep telling you guys, nothing we can do about that other than take advantage of these dips, right? And for right now, all we're focused on is just making sure Bitcoin stays above the 60,000, the 60,150. We really don't want to see Bitcoin breaking down below 60K. We really don't want to see that. Bitcoin breaks below 50K. It's really going to shatter the little bit of confidence that we still have left. We already lost a lot of confidence in this drop that we've been building in the last week or two. If we do break below 60,000, I'm not saying we're going to just start, falling off the face of the earth, but we might come back down, and we might have to deal with this crap where, this 60,100 becomes, a big spot for some resistance. And you guys can see it took us a little while for us to break above and stay above, right? So we definitely want to hold that level for sure. I wanted to bring something up here. I saw something the other day. Let me see here. Solana. I saw a big YouTuber posting the other day, and I was like, this is pretty, we always have known this or thought about this, but they brought it up, and I was like, you know what, I forgot about this. They brought up the correlation of, not the correlation, but the comparison of Solana and Ethereum, right? And I wanted to bring this up because you always think about, or you always, like us, we're always Solana, but you have to remember the top dog is Ethereum, right? And what these people were pointing out, it was Altcoin Daily, right? If you guys know Altcoin Daily, go check out their channel. They're probably one of the bigger YouTube channels that are bigger crypto YouTube channels. But they broke it down on why they think Solana is going to flip Ethereum in the near future, probably coming up in 2025. Now, this is all based off, their opinion, and stuff like that, and me as well. But you guys can see, looking at the chart in the last year for Ethereum versus Solana, you can see there's no freaking comparison, right? There's absolutely no comparison. Solana has outperformed Solana has outperformed Ethereum like crazy, right? If we look at the all-time, you can see that Solana, obviously, his chart looks absolutely ridiculous compared to Ethereum. And the reason is obviously for right now, Solana's market cap is a lot smaller than Ethereum. So you're going to see a lot of these you're going to see more gains for right now. But the point of what I'm getting to is that what they're predicting is that in 2025, right, when we possibly see the top of this market, that we might see a Solana outperform and could possibly not decouple, but possibly basically break Ethereum's market cap is what they're saying that could easily happen. Now, you look at Solana at $70 billion right now, right? And let's pull up Ethereum. I haven't checked Ethereum. I'm sure it's probably at like somewhere around 400, maybe a little bit higher. I have no idea nowadays. Oh, it's at 300 billion, right? You look at Solana and you look at Ethereum. Solana is literally maybe 3.5 times smaller than Ethereum. It's really not that far. It really is not that far, right? So Solana easily could start, really giving it to Ethereum. No Diddy on that one. But as far as really coming up and taking, that room in between that 70 billion and that 300 billion mark, easily start chipping it away, right? Now, do I think it's going to happen by 2025? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I think in order for Solana to basically, dethrone Ethereum as the biggest altcoin, I think Ethereum would have to shoot itself in the foot, honestly, and really lose a lot of its market cap. I don't see Ethereum staying at 300 billion, or even more, when we start getting up into altcoin season, and Solana outperforming, basically going from 70 billion up to 400 billion on this next run. I would love to see it, but that is such a massive move, right? That I just don't see that happening. I think in order for Solana to really break above Ethereum per market cap, now we're not talking about my price range, right? Because you have to remember the price is always going to be different no matter what, because Ethereum has a lot smaller circulating supply compared to Solana. So we're talking per market cap. In order for us to see that, Ethereum would need to come down while Solana is moving up. And just looking at like coin market cap right here, look at this. This is insane. I don't think I've ever seen a project that's this bearish, where you have 70%. You have over 104,000 votes on coin market cap, and 70% of them are bearish on Ethereum. Absolutely insane. It really is absolutely insane. And what's crazy is when Bitcoin made all-time highs, usually for the last at least two bull runs, right? Ethereum is usually right there with it. Not on the exact day, but usually follows like maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month behind Bitcoin making all-time highs. You'll see Ethereum making all-time highs. Ethereum didn't come even near its all-time high. It did break up to about 41, but all-time highs for Ethereum is 48, 47, right? So, I mean, it didn't, I guess you can look and see like it didn't come too far away, but it just feels like it doesn't have that oomph behind it anymore. Like you saw just in 2021's bull run, where you saw Ethereum just unstoppable, outperforming Bitcoin at times. Now it's just kind of there, and I think what it is that you come from 2021 and you get into where we're at right now, and you have projects like Solana, you have projects like Sui, you have projects like we can go down. Maybe even Ton, right? Before Ton was going through everything that's going through, you have a lot of these ecosystems that have broken out, that are these, you have a lot of developers building on these ecosystems, right? And it's just such cheaper as far as transactions. It's so much easier, user friendly, and it's more enticing for a lot of these people that are just coming into the DeFi space to start trading, right? So with that being said, I've been saying this for a while. Yes, Ethereum has layer 2, layer 2 ecosystems like Arbitrum and Base and stuff like that, which are awesome. Base, from what I'm hearing, is pretty much holding Ethereum right now, right? But what I'm getting to is Solana and a lot of these other ecosystems, they don't need layer 2s. They're already a layer 1 project that you can just basically use, that are just, in my opinion, for the most part, just a lot easier, a lot cheaper, to trade off of and do your DeFi thing on, versus Ethereum. If you guys have ever used Ethereum, it's very expensive to use, and that's pretty much my only gripe with Ethereum, is really just it's so freaking expensive, and it feels like it's just ancient. It really does. I always have respect for Ethereum because Ethereum was one of my big movers back in 2021. But, given that we built a project, we have a project for the channel, No FUD Koala, right? We built it on Solana. I could have built it on Ethereum. I could have built it on any other ecosystem, but I went on Solana because I know in the long run that Solana, even if it doesn't, take out Ethereum for the market cap for this bull run, it is going to do absolutely amazing, and it's here to stay for a while, right? Until Solana gets dethroned by something else that comes. But it's just like, Solana, it's Solana's time right now, right? And I feel like Solana could be that Ethereum that we all know of back in 2021 and prior. Solana might be that project. So I wanted to just let you guys, or pretty much throw that out. I saw that on their channel on Altcoin Daily, and I was like, man, this is something that I was already, when we were talking about this a while back, like a year ago, when Solana really started to break out as far as their DeFi, and people were talking about it breaking, taking out Ethereum. I was like, no way. Because if you've been familiar with crypto, you guys always have heard like Cardano as an Ethereum killer, right? And you have a couple other projects, they're Ethereum killers, right? But never really could do anything. Now you have a project that's actually like, it looks like it potentially could eventually down the road, really give a run for its money for Ethereum. So, and I'm happy that we have our project built on that. And like I said, guys, we have just the sky's the limit, right? Sky's the limit for us, for Solana, and for No FUD Koala as well. Ricky said Ethereum will wake up soon. Then they'll be saying Ethereum will flip Bitcoin. Do you remember how they were saying Solana was dead and it went to $8? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but when Solana broke down to $8 during the last bear market, that had a lot of ties to FTX, not Solana directly, but FTX was holding on to like 30-40% of the supply of Solana, right? So when Solana broke down to like $7.80, like $8, it was because there was massive fears and there was massive sell-off coming from the FTX debacle that we all love to hate, right, during the bear market. So, Craig said, update. We have an update, guys. Craig came in finally. We've been waiting for Craig to come in here and find out what the hell is going on, and he came in with the update. Thank you so much, Craig. Craig said, we're crashing because of the strike and the war. Whew. I appreciate that, Craig. I'm just messing with you, brother. Yeah, we covered that, bro. Exactly. Unfortunately, like we said at the beginning of the stream, we have the port crash, or the port strike right now on the eastern side of the United States, right? I think that initially started the downward movement, and then we have obviously everything that's going on in the Middle East. So, but like I said, I think the Middle East thing is not done, but I think Iran's like they did what they did last time. They sent off some missiles, kind of like to appease whoever they have to appease, and they're like, all right, we're done for now. Right, so hopefully that'll kind of die out as far as what's going on. But you also have the Lebanon thing going on as well. It's like there's like so much stuff going on over there. Ricky said he holds Ethereum and Solana, so he's good. Craig, I'm just messing with you, brother. Craig said, my bad, I've been all in on fantasy football lately. Bro, I'm glad you brought that up. Anybody does anybody bet on the football games or anything like that, bro? Oh, man, I've been betting on NFL, and I started doing fantastic, right? Started doing really well. I was doing all my parlays, and I'm like, some of these I'm like 10xing my whatever I'm betting, bro. The last like couple Sundays, the last Sunday and then yesterday on Monday Football. Bro, I got my ass handed to. I'm like, bro, I might have to sit out like next weekend on betting for football, because I thought I had it all up on wraps, and it's like, nope. I just handed all my money right back. All the winnings that I was making, I literally just handed it all back. So with betting, I feel like I'm like just starting to learn about crypto. When you first get into crypto and like you start buying in on stuff just to buy in. That's how I was with my parlays and stuff like that. I was like, that looks good. All right, I'll put some money on that and that and that. And a couple of them did really well. And I was like, damn, So I started just throwing money everywhere, and then everything just like did not do what I wanted. And I'm like, all right, I'm staying out of this for now. So be careful if you're out there betting on sports games. Be very careful, guys. Let's jump in on some Twitter and see what Twitter has going on for today for Bitcoin. Look at this. He said, me managing my $187 in crypto. We all know somebody that's like this. Got like $200 in the market, and they're sitting here like, yeah, I'm a full-time trader. Reasons to own Bitcoin: freedom, truth, knowledge, hope, equality, science, math. I don't know. That sounds a little woke. Ash Crypto trying to keep it bullish over here. You guys can see saying Bitcoin bull run has started. The global liquidity has broken out. Every time this happened, Bitcoin goes parabolic. It's just a matter of time. You know, and I do agree with this. Shout out to Ash Crypto. I do agree with this. Just, you know, it's just one of those days, right? It's just one of those days, one of those weeks where we're having, you know, we're seeing somewhat of a retracement, but that doesn't take away what we've been building in the last few weeks and where we're headed in the next few months, right? So, you know what's crazy is, look at this. Ash Crypto, this was 12 hours ago. This is him 2 days ago. He said the biggest Bitcoin crash is coming. Pointing out some kind of a head and shoulders pattern right here. Which one is it, bro? Oh, damn. Is this guy about to jump off a cliff? Oh, my gosh. Could you imagine doing that? Holy crap. That looks like Iron Man. Bro. That's absolutely crazy. Amor said, I had a patient hospitalized with 2 broken legs and insane pain that could not be without his laptop for his day trading. It was his full-time job. That's some dedication. I hear you. I'm sure he had more than $187 in his portfolio, right? We finally made it to Q4, guys. What are they saying? And welcome, day 1 of Q4. Look at this. World War III breaks out. Crypto people. Ricky said, did you ever skydive? Me, bro? No. I'm going to give you guys a little fun secret. I am greatly, and I'm not even BSing, I am a little bit terrified of heights. I am not even BSing. I don't know. I got to a point in life where I'm just like, if I can stay on the ground, I'm good right now. I recently, in the last few years, went down to Miami, and we were in like this penthouse, and it was on like the 100th something floor. And I'm not even lying to you. I literally spazzed out, and I was like, bro, I was with my girl, and I was like, I can't. I got to go. the building felt like it was swaying and stuff like that, and I just was like, I don't want to be up here. Like it was terrifying, you know. And I'm like, how these people live up there? I'm like, how in the hell do you live so high up in the sky? Like, it's just the fact that you're in a man-made building just scares the living hell out of me. Skydiving, I feel like I would shit myself I would be all cool, right? Drive into the place. By the time I get on the plane, I feel like I would be shitting myself. And then when they open up that hatch, they would literally have to, like, 3 people would have to grab me and literally just throw me out of the plane, because I'd be probably like, I don't want to do it, you know. But I think once I start skydiving and everything like that, I think I'd be like, oh my God, you know, like, why was I even worried about this kind of thing? But yeah, I probably wouldn't get on there just because it would be a waste of money. I probably couldn't psych myself out and you know, jump out the plane. So Amor, you said I can't be next to a rail from the second floor and up. It feels like my body wants to jump off by itself. What the? You trying to jump off buildings, bro? What's going on, man? It's going to be all right. Crypto, we're going to recover, all right? I don't want to hear about you jumping off the second floor or anything like that, bro. We're going to be good. Just messing with you. Let's zoom in a little bit and see what's going on here, guys. So it looks like we're zoomed in on the 5 minutes. So remember, I was telling you guys at the beginning of the stream, obviously the 60,150 area we need to hold. We bounced off of that. But you can see as of now, for the 5 minute, you have the 200 in the green, and then we have the 50-day in the red, right? And you can see as we've come down, even coming down here, you can see we literally are running parallel with the 50-day, right? Obviously, we can't break above the 50. We tried to break above the 50 here, kind of chopped sideways. This was earlier, and then again, we broke below the 50, causing a big drop. Same thing right here. We broke above the 50. This is on the 5 minute, but could not find support. We'll zoom in on here so you guys can see. Broke above the 50, right? Couldn't find that support. Tried, we tested it, and obviously we kept coming up and hitting our head on this 63,950 area right there. Broke below. The point of what I'm getting to is as long as we stay parallel and below the 50 and the 200, for right now, we are not going to see any kind of breakout. So for the 5 minute chart, we definitely want to see us come up and retest this 50-day at some point and break above, right? Let's zoom in or zoom out a little bit on the 30 minute. Kind of the same scenario on the 30 minute, right? You can see 50, 200 day, and you can see we basically cannot break above. And if we do, as of when was this? This was this was a few days ago. I'm like, wait, we broke out right here. As of today, you guys can see we have steadily been below the 50 and the 200-day moving average as we continue. So with that being said, until we can come up and start retesting some of these moving averages, it's just an indicator that we are going to continue to move towards the downside. Don't get faked out if you see some kind of a bounce, right? Because if we're bouncing but we're still below some of these moving averages, we're most likely not going to go anywhere. It's going to be a short-lived bounce, and we're only going to come back down to retest probably some of these areas that we're most likely going to come back and retest. Now, I'm going to go off the limb, and I'm going to say tonight, we have the Asian market coming out, right? We have the Asian market coming out, are going to be waking up. They're probably already waking up as we speak. We might see a continuation of a sell-off just because of what we saw all day. We'll see how they do us. Hopefully they buy the dip, but we could see a little bit more of a sell-off as of today as the Asian market, our Asian friends wake up, you know, and like I said, if we don't hold this 60,150 area and we break below, our next level for some support is going to be, like I said earlier, somewhere around this 59,500 area. Now, it's not far away, but why is that such a significant drop, in my opinion, is because we're going to be breaking the 60,000 level, right? And we're going to be getting back into the 50s. That's something I think that mentally we do not want to see, right? It's going to cause us to lose a lot more confidence in this market, and it might just drag on maybe a little bit more further movement towards the downside. So, but I do think no matter what, this downside that we're seeing for right now is going to be short-lived, right? And this is obviously with the consideration that everything that's going on in the Middle East kind of, dulls down as far as like with Iran and Israel particularly, it dulls down. And then obviously we see whatever's going on in these ports in America can, resolve itself. But I don't think the port situation is going to be like just tomorrow it's resolved. Hopefully it is. But I think that's going to be more of like a probably in the next like week, because they have to come to some kind of agreement because, they're striking because they want more money, right? So a lot of times, it takes a little bit of back and forth negotiations with whoever's negotiating for the people that are working versus the companies that run the ports. So. Flip said he woke up to used car pumping. As soon as I got excited, everything dropped. Let's pull that up. Thank you for bringing that up. Looking at DeFi, you can see everything is in the freaking red today. Everything is in the red. And look at that. Right when someone said something about no FUD, obviously somebody's watching the channel, somebody that hates us. Oh, they bought in and it went down. You guys see that? Shout out to whoever bought in on no FUD Koala. Look at this. Somebody bought in, right? And we actually moved down 7%. Why is that? Well, because we the last time that someone bought in earlier, Solana was at like 160. Now we see that Solana is currently trading at 144, right? So that's a big drop. No FUD Koala, the price didn't reflect that move yet until there was a buy or a sell. Now you can see, even though we've seen nothing but buy-ins, so No FUD Koala technically came down 7% in the last hour, 5% down for the last 24 hours. So it is what it is. Shout out to whoever, and I know you're probably watching right now, shout out to whoever bought in on there. I appreciate that, brother. Don't worry, because as Solana moves back up, we'll be moving up just as fast, right? It is what it is. It is when you have all our liquidity, right? We have over $20,000 in Solana sitting there, right? So it's going to fluctuate with Solana. It is what it is. But let's get back over to used car, because Flip wants to throw it in our face that he called out another project that pumped, right? And I told you guys, keep an eye on Flip, because he mentioned stuff in the chat, right? And a lot of times we look at these things, I'll pull up the chart and I'm telling him to do all this, and then, or not telling him to do it, but I'm like, well, this is that. And the next day the freaking project is up like 300%. And I'm like, bro, like what's going on here? So used car, I saw this earlier, Flip, before you even mentioned it. I looked on the watch list and I was like, holy crap. Earlier, used car was up, what, like 50, 60%? You can see it had a nice run up, breaking above this small fib retracement right here, breaking above briefly this resistance level at around the 1 cent mark. But you can see since then it has retraced somewhat. Right now, still holding 28%. Now, I will say that is impressive, because like same thing like with our project, they're all, they have $400,000 in Solana, right? So Solana's been coming down, and they actually had an update. That means massive amount of money came in on this project, but obviously it came down as well, given some sell pressure, and then obviously with Solana down as well, the project's going to start coming down as well. So, but definitely doesn't look bad. I wouldn't, if I personally, like me right now, I wouldn't buy in on this project as of right now, because you saw this initial pump. You're probably going to see somewhat of a retracement back down on this mini fib right here. You're probably going to see it drop down towards the 0.5, or most likely around this 618 area, which is around the 58 or the 67. So the 0.5 is at the 67, and the 58's at the 618. So who knows? Maybe this thing will start ripping again, but Flip did call that. Ricky said the Asian market's gonna wake up, and they're rubbing their eyes saying, what went wrong? Oh yeah, you know they're like, those damn Americans. What the hell are they doing over there? Gina said my phone went on a whack job and put mom in there, not Mog. What did I miss here? Oh, Gina said your mom's going to do good. Thanks, Gina. I appreciate that. I don't know what she's... Well, actually, no Diddy on that one. Amor said, if anyone wanted to get into MILADY, this is the exact point to get in. My average is literally the number below, and it hasn't dropped to that level since I bought in last year. Ricky said, I'm actually down on MILADY because I added to my position later on. Donald, what's going on, brother? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. But let's pull up MILADY real quick and see what the hell is going on. Okay. All right. MILADY not looking too bad. As far as like a nice little jump in point real quick. Guys. Let's pull up that market cap. $54 million, you don't say. Doesn't look bad at all. What's Mog looking like today? Damn, MILADY's down 14 freaking %. Mog is down 11. What's Mog at? 7 cents. I was watching. I was like, if Mog drops down towards like the 6 cents, like basically if it drops down to this next level at around 6.9 or below, hey, 69. If it drops below the 6.9 area, I'm going to probably start accumulating more. Because I have a confession to make, guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't know if I wanted to say anything. But I did sell my Mog earlier. I did. I sold Mog earlier when things were looking very bad. I sold it at around 7.8. No. I sold it at like 8.8. Before we really dropped down like crazy. It was like 8.8. We dropped down to about 8.1, and then we had this little bounce up to 9 cents, and I sold it around 8.8 earlier. It was hard for me to do, but I did do it. And the only reason why I did it is because right now I can buy back in on Miro on a discount, literally using the same liquidity, right? So if I just go from 8.8 to where it's at right now, I could basically use the same liquidity and get about a 17% more of my position for right now. So I was going to mention it in the chat in the Discord, but I didn't want to scare anybody. And like be like, yo, I sold out, you know, because then I know you guys would have been like, oh shit. So I definitely, yeah. That's why I'm looking at MILADY now, like, because I have a bunch of dry powder sitting here. And I'm like, should I get back in on Mog, or should I finally get my bag back of MILADY? What do you guys think? Let's do a quick poll. What do you guys think? You tell me. Crypto Queen said, buy more JASMY. Crypto Queen, what's going on, girl? I knew you were lurking in the back somewhere. What's going on, girl? JASMY's not a bad little move to pick up, too. I vowed that if JASMY gets down to a certain level, I said I was going to be buying in. I just, right now, even 1.9, I just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can sleep knowing that you guys have better positions than I do buying in at 1.9 when I know some of you guys bought in well back here, right? So I said if JASMY drops down, this is my word too, if JASMY comes back and retests 1.5 cents, which I'm not saying is going to, probably won't, but if it does come back and retest at 1.5 cent, I will be buying in on some JASMY, I promise. Let me check this poll real quick. Damn, we got the MILADY. This is the MILADY crew. I should have known that, right? 83% are saying buy MILADY. 17% are saying buy Myro. Come on, give me your votes. Seriously, give me your votes. You guys finally give me some financial advice. What should I have this dry powder. I definitely need to pick up a meme coin. Which one should I pick up? MILADY or Myro? And Amor, don't come in here telling me I should buy MOG. Because I already know MOG. What is MOG at right now? MOG hasn't even dropped down that much. Pink, I picked up, I have call. I do have call. I do have call right now. Amor said, not going to lie, I would have sold my MOG to reposition had you said that in the Discord. Bro, so you know what? I was this earlier today when I made the move, I was like, I was going into the Discord and I was like, I'm going to just let you, because you know I like to be transparent, right? But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to tell you guys, hey, I sold off, right? And then you guys, for whatever reason, you know, do something similar, and then the markets just start ripping again. Like, I didn't want to be part of that, you know what I'm saying? So like, I know a lot of you guys have really good positions right now and stuff like that as far as what you're holding, so I definitely didn't want to try to, you know, not encourage, but you know what I'm saying, kind of give you any kind of like FOMO that you're missing out on selling, right? So that's why I quietly I moved out of Myro for right now, you know, and like I said, I'm definitely looking to get back in on Myro, or now that you guys have brought up to my attention, possibly MILADY, because I have been wanting to get in on MILADY as well. So, but you know, Amor, if you would have sold off on, let's just say you caught the top of which would have been yesterday, right? So you wouldn't have seen that. But let's see. Let's pull up the 30-minute real quick. Let's just say, so today, let's say you caught the top of today, right? And you sold off. You really, I mean, okay. Well, I guess it is about 16% down from the top, from where it is right now. So, I mean, yeah, I guess that would have been a little bit of a move right there. It just looks like it hasn't moved. Like, it looks like it's holding a lot better than other projects. But, I mean, I guess it is. That would have been a 16% play right there. My bad, bro. Ricky said, market cap wise, I would do 50-50 on each. That's not a bad little plan. Crypto Queen said she is scared of all the government crap. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We've been through all this before. Pink said Crow with knife is good. Small market cap, new coin. Definitely, I already hold on to call. Let's see here. Ricky said, if I was looking for real rewards, I would make a buy into Naka. That's that gaming token or coin that you were talking about, right? Flip saying Myro. Did you vote, Flip? Put the vote in, bro. Ricky said, I tried to sell out at 65.9, but couldn't do it. I didn't trust my crystal ball. I know, bro. It's like that fear of missing out if selling, right? And Flip saying that ladies will run after Myro. So Flip saying Myro right now. So we got about 12 votes in right now, and it's basically 67% are saying get MILADY and 33% are saying get Myro. So I think it's said. I think it's set. MILADY. Now, the question is do I buy in right now? Right? Do I buy in right now, or do I wait for a possible move towards, you know, a little bit more towards the downside is the question. Let me check on. You got to, if you're like something like that, I always go back to Bitcoin and I'm like, all right, what are we seeing here for Bitcoin? I do think that we're probably going to come back down and retest this 60,150 area. So what I'll do is if we do come down to that area, obviously MILADY is going to probably drop another, like, you know, maybe a few percent, 5%, something like that. I'll probably jump in on MILADY when it does that. Flip said, ladies drops anymore, it's getting scary. All right, Flip. Now Flip's getting me a little discouraged on jumping in. Gina said, "Milady is what you kind of center your channel around to get back into." I hear you, right? You got to have. I feel like I owe it to Milady that I have. I don't own any Milady right now. I feel like I have to own a little bit of Milady, right? Ricky said, "Wait, it can go down and then come back up, but likely not the opposite." I hear you. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait for Bitcoin to see if we're going to maybe come back down to retest this 60,150 area. So keep an eye on that, you guys, for tonight on the charts. 60,150 area. We have to hold this for Bitcoin. If we do break this, I'm not saying that things are going to be getting all like, oh, we've been through all this, right? Now, another scenario that I forgot to bring up earlier that we could easily see, guys, right? You know, if you look at this trend, right? You can see this channel that we've been trading in since we made all-time highs in March. We've been talking about this like crazy, this bull flag, right? We could literally be in this bull flag for another week or two, you know, or maybe even longer. Maybe October, it's Downtober, right? You never know. But the point of what I'm getting to is we've had times like we've seen before, like we just saw recently, we've seen before where we've breaking out of this channel thinking that was going to be it. We're going and we've done what? Come back, we hit our head on the channel, and we break down to the bottom of the channel, only to do it again, right? And again, and again, right? Now, I'm not saying that it's for sure, oh, we're for sure coming back down to this channel down here, but we easily could just because we've done it 5 times in the last 6 months, right? So, and if you look, this isn't an overnight, these aren't overnight drops. If you look at the top of this right here, this was in the 6th of June. When we bottomed out, this was the 6th of July. So this was 4 weeks of us moving, right? You know, and you have same thing on this one. This high right here, the 29th of July. The bottom was the 5th of August. So that was a quicker drop right there. But the point of what I'm getting to is it's not usually like an overnight thing. We're not going to see by tomorrow we're at the bottom of this channel. If that's where we're headed, it's going to probably be, you know, a week or two, maybe even up to like 4 weeks where we could see us possibly coming down. Now, I'm not saying that's what we're going to see. I'm just saying that is another scenario that we easily could see, that we easily will still be very bullish sitting in this bull flag, right? We could easily break down towards the bottom. And the bottom of that, not to scare anybody, but that's $51,000 right there. So we easily could break down to those levels. So we'll have to just see how this plays out. Like I said, as of right now, if you ask me, this move that we have right now, as far as us coming down, is this a short term, you know, kind of thing, or is this going to be something drawn out like we were just talking about for the next few weeks? I personally think for right now, I think it's going to be short term. We've gotten confirmation with Iran and Israel that Iran, you know, did what they did, and I think they said, all right, that's it, we're done, right? Hopefully that's it. Like I said, the other thing with the ports, that could be cleared up in the next week. So all this stuff could be cleared up and we could easily be back up and running. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. Obviously, we'll see how it plays out. But for right now, you know, just expect, you know, that we, for at least for tonight, that we're most likely going to come back down, in my opinion, and retest this 60,150 area, most likely. So with that being said, guys, that's pretty much it. Keep your heads up out there. We're going to be fine, right? If anything, you guys are getting another chance to just accumulate, you know. But when you least expect it, we're going to be taking off like crazy. And, you know, we know that it's inevitable, right? We just don't have the time frame. That's what we've been saying, right? We look at these maps. We look at these charts. We look at these months from previous years. And in the last 3 months of the year, we usually do fairly well. Doesn't mean it exactly has to play out like that, right? So, but we know we have one more pump coming. That's pretty much written on the table. We just don't know the time frame of when it's going to happen. So with that being said, guys, keep your heads up. We'll be fine. If you guys need anything from me, I'll be in the Discord. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for coming in tonight. I really do appreciate it. Have a fantastic night, and I'll see each and every one of you guys tomorrow. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit that like for the channel so we can send it out to algorithm. Other than that, guys, thank you.